We are doing so many things, like we are called to so many things, to do so many things. We have to be also called to wake up to who we are. If you're doing all these things, running after all these things to try and fulfill all these projections and to reach all these dreams and so on, and you don't find yourself, I just see, this is madness, it's madness. And yes, it's a part of the dream, is madness. Madness is a big part of this dream, that you're running around, you put all this energy, all this dream, all these projections, all this fire for just transient things, that they burn up, Nobody can reach back and bring anything from yesterday here. Nobody can do it, It's only an impression, like the clouds. They are passing. If this morning was a beautiful sunrise and the sky was just, heavenly, it's gone. You can't put pause on it, it's gone. All of life experienced through the senses and the mind is like that. And the madness is that we don't seem to see that constantly. Reaching forward to fulfill the next projection. I was saying yesterday that life is only about now. The quality of your now, the quality of the consciousness that is your self and source. It's only about that. There's no such thing as tomorrow. No one has ever experienced tomorrow. Whatever we think tomorrow is, it has to be experienced in the now. And it is the quality of the now, how rich, how pure, how lived, how true is the now, that it becomes the fragrance of your presence. Of course, and when we fill up the now with our projections about that also creates something inside the now, but more like anxiety and expectations and projections and dream gets infused in your nowness, and it doesn't have any weight. It has more like a sense of displacement, of waiting, frustration, projection. These are not real values, But if you spend time with yourself, be rooted in that experiential understanding of what beingness is. Because the now has no history. Now has no history. It has no biographies in it. It's not about what we have done and and it is just the purity of the quintessence of all that is in you, exuding itself. And its qualities, you may say, is perfume, is peace, and love, and wisdom, and harmony. That is the true fragrance of what we may call human expression. That is it. It cannot be anxiety and hurry and haste and frustration and disappointment, because that's what we will exude if you're not present in the now as the now. It's only been in the now, not the now of time, not the now which is a break between the then and the was. It's not a time quality. The now is eternal, it's timeless. How can people understand that? By the mind is not enough. It might give you a little sense, but in meditation, you come to now. In real prayer and surrender, you are surrendering into now, into nowness. And that's why you have to go to those people for for a taste of real life, you know, people who are anchored in their own peace, who are not living in a projection about future or in reminiscing about past. They are just resting in their own awareness, their own beingness. They are the good examples in the life. And not just human beings. Most of the life on earth you see of the animals and the birds, the insects, they are just manifestations of the now in form, you know. Of course they have activity, they do their activity, but they're not so attached to it. Their activity is practical, restful, peaceful. Sometimes they have to hunt, they have to do, but they don't have the quality of anxiety that comes through expectations and projections. I don't think a lion is sitting in the jungle or in the forest thinking about next week. They don't have such days of the week like we have in our concept world. So if I could really get across this thing of now, the now beyond time and the here beyond place or geography, is pointing only to the presence, which I call the presence of God, which is the true nature of human being. That thinking about future, planning future, is robbing yourself of the beauty and completeness of your nowness. Now is not concerned about future nor time. It's like a taste of the eternal. Now is eternal, actually. It never passes. Now never passes. It doesn't come, it's just here. When we remove or leave aside all this thing of the mind, you're here in the now, you know. And it's not boring, it's not stagnant, it's total completeness. That is the opportunity of a human birth. What supports the entire manifestations, all the galaxies, what supports them is the perfection of this. I'm using the word now. It can be a synonym also for harmony, for naturalness, for God, for life in its purest, for essence, for happiness, for existence. Now is the same word like love or bliss or joy or silence or wisdom of God, truth. They're all synonyms. One day, actually, if by God's grace we come to that understanding, you will see that every word that exists in your language is a synonym for God.